Hi, my name's Christy. I usually eat lean cuisine for lunch and dinner to help me lose weight. That's what my TikTok account is usually about. But today I want to talk about something different. I got this vintage 1956 Women's Day magazine that talks about diets in the 1950s. Here it is. It was only 7 cents. And in this magazine, it has an article in it where it talks about the new 1400 calorie diet. Let's take a look, shall we? In this January issue, the new 1400 diet. Grow slim, stay slim on 3 meals a day, and it was only 7 cents. And this was January 1956. So the diet actually starts with an article about this woman, and I'm going to read it to you. This is her before picture and her after picture of her doing this diet. And as I read this to you guys, I'm going to show you pictures of the food that they had her eat. Through the years, I have served as a horrible example of what not to do if you have a tendency to be fat. I have at times weighed as much as 225, and I am only 5 feet 1. My husband and children have to take care of me as they would a much older person. They automatically come to save me steps, pick up things for me, go up or down stairs to fetch things for me, climb on stools to get on the high shelves that I could never reach. Now my family is proud in my achievement. I weigh 135. They say I had to reduce my weight because when my son Bob went to the army, I had no one to tie my shoes. It's true that at that time I was so fat I couldn't see my feet. But the nicest compliment came from our 10-year-old Johnny. It's so much more fun to hug you now. I can reach all the way around. My grandmother, who was proud of my appetite, used to say, pouring more oat flakes in yellow cream into my cereal bowl and adding more maple syrup for sweetening, I just can't fill her up. For breakfast, I also ate warmed up potatoes, which we would now call creamed. And grandma's really were creamed. Pink, home cured ham and big fat cookies with raisins on top. Grandma was luring me on to future of obesity with other meals just as hard to resist. Homemade baked beans and stew and 3-layered cakes with pink center and coconut covered top buried with a thick frosting. As wise as she was, my grandmother didn't know that at school dances I just played the piano because I was too fat to dance. She didn't know that's why at church parties I stayed with the preacher's wife. But she didn't know that I came home early and alone and cried myself to sleep. Is it any wonder that my own daughter Jean has begun to develop a pudgy image of my former self? I was determined that she will not be just like me. My attempts to take weight off had, of course, been numerous and varied. Once I got down to 190. Another time, Charlie, my husband, said he would buy me a fur coat if I got down to 150 pounds. I did, but wouldn't you know, after I reached my goal in the middle of summer, but at no time before I entered the clinic for overweights that had emphasis on adequate nutrition. So I could never maintain the weight loss. From the very beginning, I had lots of confidence in the new diet. I had heard of the clinic's work, but before I could bring myself to enter it, I had reached a disturbingly low point physically and mentally. I knew that going there was what I should do, and I will come out all right. The formula is meat with fat on it twice a day, whole milk with every meal, and favorite foods are usually on the forbidden list. And this is her and her daughter Jean trying on stockings, saying that she used to not fit into stockings and now she can, and that her and her daughter are trying on different kinds of stockings. Okay, one thing I'd like to say is I am like her. I am 5'1". She's 46. I'm 35. And I am a housewife. I have been a housewife since 2015. And so we're very similar. And my highest weight is also 225. So what I think about this article is I can compare myself to her to a certain point. In the article, she mentioned she had her family do a lot of things for her, which is something that I cannot say I've done. For example, she had her kids tie her shoes and stuff like that. I can definitely tie my shoes when I was 225. I could walk, I can get around, I could put my own clothes on and stuff like that. I think that's kind of a little ridiculous and exaggerated. And if she really was like that, that's insane. Yeah, that's crazy to me to imagine. Because when I was 225, I was still exercising, walking, and things like that. And I'm kind of shocked that she didn't do that. Maybe it's just like the kind of person she is, because she lived in New York and she lived around a city. So back then you would have to walk to the grocery store to go pick up any of these items. So I don't know. She acted like a 600-pounder is what it sounded like to me. A 600-pound life woman, not a 225 woman. But I digress. I noticed that she added a lot of veggies, a lot of lemon like every single day. I don't know if they just thought that maybe eating lemon in the diet, that would make them skinny. One thing I found interesting is that they ate tongue. And I remember my grandparents eating liver and tongue and things like that, but to me, that's a no-no. I'm not going to be doing that. I did consider doing this 1,400 calorie diet for 1 week and posting it on my YouTube channel. I just don't believe I'm brave enough. I just don't think I'm brave enough to do this craziness. I mean, one point at dinner, she had 4 pieces of tongue and 2 radishes. I'm not doing that. But I digress. She was able to lose the weight, and I bet you $1,000 she gained it back, because there's just no way. Knowing me, if she was similar like me, there's no way that you could eat this stuff every single day and stay on it. She talked about eating cakes from her grandparents. Which is, I get that point, because a lot of my family around me, like when I go to Des Moines to visit my family, none of them go on a diet. None of them like diets. They like to eat whatever they like to eat. And it's hard for me as a petite woman, because petite women get such little calories. We get such little food. And then you got to look around everybody else, all your family or your friends, and they're eating whatever they feel because they want to, and they get to eat cheeseburgers and stuff. I kid you not, if I eat a cheeseburger, I'm going to gain 10 pounds. It's just what my body is. And it takes me forever to lose those 10 pounds. I'm very short. I'm built different. Everyone's built different. I typically stay on 1,200 calorie diet. So I am actually 200 calories less than this woman. I have been for a while now. And I've been sticking at 170. And this summer's coming up. I live in the Midwest, and usually winter is my time where I hibernate. And I'm actually really proud of myself this year, because I didn't yo-yo back up to 225. I've been staying at 170, and I'm hoping to lose the rest of my 50 pounds. Spring, summer, and fall is my time to be out of the house and exercise. So I'm really hoping that this is the year that I can get to it and get down my weight. We'll see. But what did you guys think of the article? I think it's wild that they had before and after pictures. See, isn't that cool? Before and after pictures, just like us. So, and of course, on the back, got some good advertising there, huh? What'd you guys think? Did you like it? Have a good day, Queens.